BRINK is a first-person shooter. You can play it by yourself. It's 8-player co-op. You can go online and get the full experience. Making a multiplayer game that has a strong story narrative. Our game is almost like a gateway drug, because it is all about creating a connection with him, so you take, that's my guy, that's who I'm taking into the world. There's a lot going on with classes. We're just basically at the vanguard of a whole new wave of more and more games trying to take artistic license and not look like everything else. At the end of the day, I do tend to think that we're kind of the 800-pound gorilla or elephant or whatever it is that everybody else needs to watch for, because, you know, we don't have a 2 or a 3 on our name. We're actually offering something new. Have I thought about achievements? I think I'm just about to crack 30,000 myself. Yeah. Thank you very much. No small part thanks to your website. No, achievements are fantastic and I actually love them. And I mean, to me, they're actually a really interesting design challenge that honestly, and I'm not going to name names here, but I think a lot of games fail miserably on. My previous experience with achievements, I was the lead designer on Fable 2, and definitely one of the things I was most proud of was the achievements we did in Fable 2. And it's, you know, the philosophy I had for them there is pretty much the exact same one I have for BRINK. What do you call them? The grind achievements. I'm totally fine with there being a couple of them because I think they do serve a valuable purpose. I think there is a type of player who really enjoys that, and you know, and gets a lot of satisfaction from climbing that mountain. You know, in the same way people, I assume, get satisfaction from climbing mountains, which seems like murder to me. I don't get it, but so I mean, obviously we'll have a few of those. But to me, achievements are more about an opportunity for me as a designer to introduce stuff to players that they may not have picked up on otherwise. It's really, in a small way, another way to bribe players to do stuff. The other thing I don't want to do, and this is not necessarily, it drives me nuts that I have to be playing a game and have game, you know, 360achievement.org sitting on my lap, on the laptop while I'm playing the game, and every 5 minutes, okay, I think I'm to the second half of the level, bear check. Okay, yeah, I guess I gotta take a left here. And, you know, I think that has the potential to ruin games, and that's not what the designers intended, but I'm sorry, that's what happens. That is what happens. And so for me, it's all about finding achievements that, you know, are things that are basically going to reinforce and players, you know, positive buzz they're getting for success and achievement, encourage them to do stuff that they might not have done on their own, and just not slow the gameplay down. So those are the kind of things we're definitely taking into account with the BRINK's achievements or trophies. One must hasten to add. I think Steam has them too, so I think they call them achievements there. Well, the jury's still out on that. But yeah, there will be no achievement for playing fetch with your dog. I will state that on the record now. To me, I think it really starts coming in. Well, you start thinking about them just because they're fun, right from the get-go. And you know, every time something funny or interesting or unexpected happens in a game, there's an achievement. Then that doesn't always mean that's a good achievement, because it might be a real asshole of an achievement, so you don't necessarily want to throw that in. So that kind of stuff comes up all the time, but I don't think you can make any really serious decisions until maybe the final third of the game, when you've got enough of your game in place to know that, yeah, these are the things that work, these are the combinations of effects that really work. And but yeah, no, we think about it all the time. We joke about them all the time. I mean, I'm not going to say we're all achievement whores, but I certainly am. And so, you know, we love them. I think they are, you know, everybody points to Live, and Live is incredible. Live is amazing. But I think achievements with the launch of 360 are probably the single biggest game changer that the Xbox has brought to the market. And I mean, I hope whoever idea it was, I hope they're swimming in gold right now, as opposed to, you know, slaving away in some little cubicle, forgotten that, you know, I came up with that. But who knows? No. Oh, obviously not. I mean, just look at Avatar. I mean, and I'm sorry to say, if you're going to look me up, yes, I got the 3,000 points. I'm not proud of it. I wish I could take those 1,000 points back, but yeah, I did it. I'm weak. I admit it. And you know, and it's pretty obvious. Gosh, I saw an achievement recently that was watch the credits. And it's like, and that was on an arcade game. You don't get very many achievements.
Explosion Man. Was
it? Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I mean, and okay, I get it. You're proud. I mean, but geez, I mean, that's a game with a lot of combinatorial stuff. I mean, I forget what the number is for arcade games, but I know it's only 200 points as opposed to 1,000 points, and it's not 50. It's
12.
It's 12. That was a 12th of all your achievements you could have done. I don't know. I don't know the guys. It's a fantastic game. So I guess I probably just need to watch the credits because it must be something really special. I'm not gonna speak for them, but I do think a lot of times it's an afterthought. Oh fuck yeah, we have a TCR. Quick, okay. How many do we have to do? Okay. All right, yeah. 1 for 100 kills. 1 for 1,000 kills. 1 for 100 kills with this gun. It's such a missed opportunity. I mean, it was a really fun exercise when I was on Fable. You know, we got to the point where, okay, we're really start talking about it. First thing I did is sent an email to the entire design department, all the scripters, all the level designers. You know, and ultimately went to the rest of the team, but designers got first crack. Okay, so what do you guys think? Well, it's going to be a lot of fun, and you know, they just threw hundreds of ideas, and it was a good, solid weekend of culling all that down to 50. It took forever. It was a really tough design challenge. There were so many achievements that got left on the cutting room floor in Fable. And yeah, I mean, I feel bad for designers who just feel it's a chore, because to me it's just a lot of fun, and it's a lot of fun for players. That's a good question. I can't speak for anybody else. I think it has to. You know, I think eventually it's relatively new. It's not a part of a designer's lexicon yet, and you know, and quite frankly, nobody calls anybody out for saying, "Oh yeah, look, I got one for killing 1,000, and then 1,500, and then 2,000." That's deemed to be perfectly acceptable. I mean, I really think it's up to players to express what they want to see, and if developers want to sell more games, they'll give them that. Now, I'm sure Avatar got a few more sales than they might have otherwise gotten because of that. But actually, I think mostly they got more rentals than they might have otherwise, as opposed to like a really elaborate system, which would have maybe kept somebody playing longer, which I think ultimately serves them better in the end. Well, that's the thing. It comes back to the whole thing of BRINK, the blurring of the single player and multiplayer. So there can be no multiplayer achievements, there can only be achievements, because it's all about letting players play however they want. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. It depends on the game. I think it's a perfectly reasonable thing that Infinity Ward is entirely single player, not a single multiplayer achievement in the game, right? Yeah. That's a totally valid choice they make, in part because at the end of the day, they know the numbers. They know how many people who buy that go online. And they just decided to not, literally use this as a method to, again, to bribe players into something. It is something they could do. Me personally, had they done it, it would have been an enticement for me to maybe stick with multiplayer a little bit longer than I would have otherwise. But it means they could do that much more. It's a really interesting thing where you're limited to only 50. So I think it's entirely up to the game, and it's all about what the developers want to achieve. They know full well they don't need to bribe anybody to come and play online. There are plenty of people lining up, so they spend them where they wanted to, and more power to them. How can you say anything bad about Infinity Ward, obviously?
Exactly.
Yeah. Spring 2010 is what we're shooting for on all 3 platforms.